Good afternoon, Scott Rella, T3 Live. Welcome to today's recap. It's going to be a quick one because I'd like to see what Apple reports and trade it after hours and see what happens next. As far as the markets today, pretty strong day. Again, you have to take in stride that it's a summer and that things aren't as active, volume's not as high, but there are definitely things to do. If you look at the chart of the SPX right here, you'll see that, remember this breakout right here where it was trying to hold this support and hold the 21-day and the 50-day, wound up breaking above it. Happened right around here before making a high there, and then it's just been stair-stepping higher. Okay, on Thursday, I know there was a lot of volatility on the downing of the Malaysian jet, but from there the market took it in stride. You had the red day, green day, boom, and today we broke out a little bit. Didn't break out with authority, but broke out, and you had some time if you wanted to make adjustments, especially if you got short into this. Once it negated half of that move, which we talk about, then you have to say that that's not as powerful as it was. So anyway, closed right here. I'm not sure, what type of follow through we're going to have. Your new high here is about 1986-ish. I guess it'll have something to do with Microsoft and Apple after the close. Real quickly, some of the banks broke out. I profiled them today in the morning call. Goldman Sachs, which made a higher high yesterday, led today, almost right into resistance that we were talking about around 176. So at this point, little extended here, especially where it came from, but good to see Goldman Sachs lead. Morgan Stanley trying to break out above this level, still not able to get enough power. I'm not sure what it's going to take, but at some point, if you long Morgan, it's holding above the moving averages, looks pretty good. Didn't close on highs, but looks like it wants to take out this level here. Citigroup also acting better. Nice little flag type pattern above this downtrend here, above the moving averages. Maybe it gets a little bit better if maybe we need an economic report or two to be strong, so rates bump up, and then maybe that gets a little bit of action. And Bank of America is lagging. Okay, at this point, it's the worst one. Give it a little bit of time. If it doesn't start moving and you want to get out of it, here's your stop down there. As far as other plays, today, Google wound up trying to break above the earnings high, but was a little lethargic, but it gave you a move. If you bought into yesterday's weakness or today on the open, it tried to go. And granted, not the most powerful move, but again, it's a summer and things aren't just breaking out, and we still have a lot more earnings to contend with. Here was the descending channel. This was a nice little pivot, and as long as it stays above this 590, 592, I think you got to stay with it. If you added to it here and ruin your average cost, that kind of happens, and it's a little bit frustrating. But overall, still acts well. Amazon was downgraded by Citigroup. In my note this morning, I said I don't think the highs of Amazon are in, that it potentially is buyable. It did go green. So if you bought some Amazon in the hole, congrats. The stock's been moving very well, since breaking above this 338 after a nice base. And then, today it didn't even make it down to support around 351, didn't even touch the 8-day and closed pretty well. So there are buyers in Amazon. As far as Baidu, just trickling along. Tough to make much traction when you're that extended from the 8 and the 21-day, but looks okay. Talked about YY in my note today. Gave you a little bit of a trade. You had to be long some overnight or act quickly. Looks okay. See if it holds above 75. Here's your next pivot. Kihu, what did that do? I put that in there as well. Oh, Kihu actually gave you a little stronger day. Day 1, day 2. It's part of the strategy. Okay, and then day 3, typically you sell. Just like in Plug, you had a 3-day move that you had to sell. Okay, we've talked about Plug. It's a momentum, volatile name. Some guys got involved in it on Friday when it perked up on volume. I actually bought it yesterday around 520, and then I tweeted today saying, selling it close to 6. I didn't get the high of 633. I thought it would fill this gap, and that was my trade. If you stayed too long, you have a bit of a topping tail there into resistance, and that happens. But day 1, day 2, day 3, that's why I'm typically a seller on day 3. But you know what? If you get day 4, day 5, I typically cry sometimes too because I sell too early, but overall, this type of method keeps you safe. As far as Apple, if you're watching this, earnings are due out. Lots of people are talking about 100 plus guaranteed, and I hate when that happens. Overall, it does look good. The chart looks great. If you're trading it after hours and you're watching this live now, 97.10 is momentum level. It has to get above there and stay above there for it to potentially extend. Here is another pivot coming along, so you could also write that down. If for some reason the number's light, Here is support 1 at 92.57, and then this is really, well, here's a 50-day, so you got to know where that is. It hasn't touched a 50-day during this entire move. So if it happens to trade down after hours because the number was light or their guidance isn't clear, 91.35 is a level. So here's resistance 1, resistance 2, support 1, support 2. We'll figure out what happens after hours. Sometimes they halt it. Microsoft came out. Doesn't seem like it's enough, but who knows what they say in their conference call. This had a nice breakout. This is when they announced their job cuts, and it was sold into that. Did flag, was negative after hours because they missed by 5-6 cents with the Nokia write-down, but they did buy Nokia, so maybe people won't give them a pass. Who knows? If it does go positive and gets above this, we'll see if it could deal with the high here of 45.71. I bought some in-the-money options at the end of the day that'll probably go worthless, but it was a small little wager. I thought perhaps it would be better than it was, thinking that Intel, everyone was real positive on that, closing well, and it still continued and they protected the gap, but we'll see. BMW came out after the close, looked like it was good. Stock hasn't done anything in a while. If you're trading it after hours, in order for this to really be good, it's got to get above this pivot here of 99.13 and stay above it. Perhaps it'll fill this gap. Had a strong day today. From first glance, it looked like it was decent earnings. And what else? Gold, probably frustrating. Still the bulls there. As of now, this bar was negated right there. We talk about how closed well here, gap down, closed bad, looked like it wanted to go lower, went up, blah, blah, blah. So if that's any sense of the action on an intraday basis, today it closed weak, so tomorrow might be up. All in all, I guess if you take a bigger look here, it's still in this big type of channel, and if you're buying dips in it, okay, fine, it's up 9% for the year, but it's monotonous and hard to trade if you're trying to trade it, day in, day out. Not much continuity. What else were we looking at today? The 3D printers tried to go, and I went for a triple D, and it basically was horrendous. Thank goodness I got out and I had it tight because I think it tried to go positive. I was in there, and then it was down 60 cents. I got away from it, and then it was down like 3. So I don't know what happened here. I figured maybe it would be worth a day one, and it wasn't. SSYS happened to be a little stronger, but it couldn't go yet either. It's been in this little range. And a lot of these stocks that have this little lower range like this, they're not perking up yet. They're not going after the second and third tier stocks. Look at something like Yelp. It's still, not getting out of this little zone. It's a little choppy zone that if you buy it wrong, you're probably upset. That's after breaking this ascending channel right there. Same thing going for Tesla. Tesla, if you buy strength or short weakness, it's not getting anywhere yet. So just give it some time. This pattern's probably taking some time to build, and at some point as we get closer to earnings, maybe we'll see something. This was your last tradable down, move when it broke this 235, and this was your tradable up move. So there's been trades there, and now it's just monotonous. So don't get worn out by it. LinkedIn did give you a better trade. It was Sperling's play of the week, closing near highs. Stock's been battered and bruised. I guess, if it's trading better, it's almost negated half of this bar. We'll see what happens. It did break this ascending channel, so we'll see what it does if it gets back there. Facebook took a day off, showed some weakness, but all in all, you can't be too upset with the action here, considering after this nice 3-day up move, you had a nice bull flag, traded through it, gave you follow through yesterday, and then held it. So it has earnings tomorrow. We'll see what happens. That's the prior high there. Twitter still hasn't really done much. I'm in options because the stock doesn't trade well. At some point, perhaps it trades through 40. We'll see what happens first with Twitter. This was the last nice trade here when it traded above 35 before breaking this trend. And that's about it. It's 4:21. I'm going to get back to my desk. I'm not exactly, my guts, to be honest, my gut's telling me I threw away money buying the options in Apple. I don't think it falls apart, but I don't think it runs away. It's had a big move, but I had to be in some options just in case because I know, I'd be upset if it goes to 98, 99, 100 and they don't have any because they don't take stock into earnings. But if for some reason it goes lower and the event risk is out of the way, I'll watch the 21-day, I'll watch the 50-day, and I'll start trading it, and I'll probably make more money if it doesn't go through the roof because I'll be able to buy it cheaper and then let it form a good pattern and then play it for a better move perhaps in the weeks and months ahead, as that's when that new product cycle will be kicking in. So we'll be listening closely, tune into the VTF, the radio, we'll be talking about it, Sperling will be trading it, and we'll see what happens. I typically don't like after hours trading because it's thin, it's erratic, and it's hard to really judge. So, I'll either be involved or, we'll see what happens. Sperling tends to be a lot more active after hours because he could, I guess, handle the risk, where for me, I'd rather wait till there's a little bit more continuity, a little more control, because that type of guy, I'm a creature of routine, habit, control, and discipline, and after hours, sometimes it's the Wild West, but there could be opportunities from time to time. So tomorrow, Brittany's back, which I'm excited about. If you're coming to the Short Hills open house tonight, I will be there around 7:30. I will see you there. And hope you're having a decent week and a great summer. Enjoy the weather, because life's way too short. And that's about that. Talk to you later.